The most valuable asset you own isn't in a vault. It's sitting behind a simple cupboard door. But here's the terrifying truth about crisis preparation. 90% of what you store right now is a ticking time bomb. It will be eaten by mold, devoured by pests, rendered worthless when you need it most. Why? Because you've been given a half-truth. This is the definitive, no BS guide to a food supply that can defy time. The fundamental strategy is simple. You must create an environment where nothing can survive. This means sealing your food inside an airtight, stable environment, a step best achieved using Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers. Once sealed, remember to store everything in a cool, dry place, away from sunlight. This method is hostile to microbial growth and is the key to locking out the 4 silent enemies: moisture, oxygen, warmth, and light. We've compiled the lessons of ancient history and the scrutiny of modern science to give you the blueprint. Ready? Let's begin with the foods that have already proven they can defy time. Starting with number 1, honey. For millennia, civilizations knew a secret about this golden liquid, a secret they carried to the grave. In the lightless, stifling tomb of an Egyptian pharaoh, archaeologists made a discovery that shattered our modern notions of expiration dates. They found perfectly preserved edible honey, sealed in a jar for over 3 millennia. This wasn't a miracle. It was a testament to scientific truth. Honey does not merely last. It is a substance that, by its very nature, refuses to die. It is an immortal superfood. The science behind its endless shelf life is simple and perfect. Honey is a sterile fortress. Its water content is so astronomically low, typically below 18%, that it creates an environment where no bacteria, no mold, and no microorganism can ever survive. It's a microbial desert. Add to that its natural acidity and the tiny but powerful amount of hydrogen peroxide it produces, and you have a preservative engineered by nature. You won't find a 1,000-year lab study on it. The proof is in the tombs. Just protect it from its one true weakness: moisture, and you have a food source that will outlive you. But what if the most common items, the ones you reach for every day, are also your most reliable? Number 2, salt and sugar. Salt and sugar are not mere seasonings. According to research from the Utah State University Extension, they are the twin pillars of a survival pantry. They can be stored indefinitely. Their secret lies in a terrifyingly simple concept called water activity. They are so aggressive at absorbing moisture that they create a microbial wasteland, pulling the life right out of any potential contaminant. But there is a crucial distinction. Not all salt and sugar are created equal. Pure granulated sucrose is forever stable, but your raw or brown sugar, they carry more moisture, lowering their stability. The same goes for iodized salt with anti-caking agents, which will degrade. The only risk to the pure forms, they'll absorb moisture and turn into a hardened brick. Safe, but useless for sprinkling. But what about the food that fueled the engines of empire and endured the brutal isolation of the high seas? Number 3, hardtack. For centuries, one food defined military might. From the legions of ancient Rome to the starving soldiers of the American Civil War, military endurance was built on a simple, indestructible ration: hardtack. Made from nothing but flour, water, and salt. This humble cracker was baked not once, but twice to strip it of nearly every molecule of moisture. This was the ultimate defense against decay. Historical accounts and modern preservation sources reveal this toothed duller can last 25 to 50 years or more. It remains a safe, calorie-dense ration for decades. The next item on our list hides a shocking truth between 2 grains. One is a crippling liability, the other is a generational legacy. Number 4, white rice. In the world of long-term food storage, there is a shocking distinction between 2 seemingly identical grains. A landmark Brigham Young University study followed rice stored for up to 30 years in sealed, oxygen-free containers. What they found was a revolution in food science. The rice still retained its nutritional quality and was perfectly edible. But here is the detail that changes everything. The reason white rice can last for decades is because it has been stripped of its outer hull, the part of the grain that contains all of its natural oils. Those oils in brown rice are what go rancid over time, turning the grain into something bitter and inedible in as little as 6 to 12 months. The science is clear. Research supports that polished white rice can last 25 to 30 years when properly sealed with oxygen absorbers. Our next food is not just an ingredient, but a hidden weapon for a crisis. It can clean a wound, stabilize a body, and never, ever expire. Number 5, apple cider vinegar. In the quiet chaos of a crisis, survival is not just about what you eat, it's about what you use. The humble bottle of apple cider vinegar is more than a food. It is a liquid, secret weapon. According to research and guidance from Iowa State University Extension, apple cider vinegar has an indefinite shelf life. Its permanence is a simple scientific fact. Owing to its naturally high acidity, its low pH makes it a graveyard for microbes, ensuring it remains safe to use forever. But its value extends far beyond the pantry. This same acidity makes it an effective cleaning agent, a potent traditional home remedy, and a tool for first aid. It is one bottle with 1,000 uses, engineered to outlast your need for it. The next item is a humble staple, but its resilience is so profound it can span generations. Number 6, dried beans. When it comes to building a long-term food supply, few items are as dependable as the humble dried bean. They are an economic and nutritional powerhouse that can, quite literally, span generations. The science is in. Based on a study from Brigham Young University, pinto beans stored for up to 30 years under the right conditions were still found to be acceptable to a consumer taste panel. While the texture of older beans may demand longer cooking times, a small, worthwhile inconvenience, their essential protein and mineral content remains stable. But what about its smaller and just as durable cousin? What is the one factor that causes a nearly indestructible food to suddenly become hard to cook? Number 7, dried lentils. Dried lentils are a profoundly reliable food that can defy conventional wisdom about shelf life. Agricultural sources confirm these resilient legumes can be stored for many years, even decades, if handled with precision. The critical distinction for lentils in extended storage isn't spoilage. It's a natural process known as the hard-to-cook phenomenon. It's a decline in quality, not safety, where the lentils become increasingly resistant to softening. Research pinpoints the two accelerators of this problem: high moisture and elevated temperatures. Keep them cool, dark, and sealed. But what if you could store an entire gallon of milk in a single, perfectly stable jar? Number 8, non-fat powdered milk. Powdered milk is a cornerstone of long-term storage because its exceptional shelf life is a direct result of dehydration, a scientific magic trick that removes moisture and effectively halts the microbial activity that causes spoilage. But here is the critical choice. While whole milk powder oxidizes and spoils due to its fat content, non-fat powdered milk can remain viable for 20 years or more when stored correctly. Research from Utah State University reveals the key: store it cool. Samples kept at 50 degrees Fahrenheit retain their quality far better than those kept warm. The next food is a simple, ubiquitous staple that hides a surprising resilience. Its only fault is that it might take an extra 5 minutes to boil. Number 9, dried pasta. Sometimes the simplest staples hide the greatest resilience. Dried pasta is an ideal choice for disaster preparedness, possessing a remarkable longevity rooted in the foundational principles of food science. Its shelf life extends far beyond typical best-by dates because of its extremely low water activity, a condition where microbial growth is simply impossible. While no singular study spans decades, the collective body of scientific research confirms that pasta, when properly stored, is microbiologically stable indefinitely. The only concern is a gradual decline in cooking quality. Older pasta will simply demand a bit more time and water. But what if a humble breakfast food could last for a generation and still taste acceptable? Number 10, rolled oats. Beyond their role as a morning ritual, rolled oats stand as an exceptional food for long-term storage. Their quality will inevitably degrade over time due to the oxidation of their natural oils. Inevitably, that's what we thought. But a key study published on ResearchGate on the long-term storage of rolled oats unveiled an astounding finding. Even after 28 years in a controlled, oxygen-reduced environment, the oats were still deemed acceptable for consumption. They were safe. They were edible. This finding is a game changer. It decisively supports the claim that oats remain safe and edible for decades. Our next items are a testament to the ultimate form of preservation, a technology that can steal the life out of a food, leaving behind only the perfect memory of its freshness. Number 11, dehydrated and freeze-dried produce. In the quest to preserve nature's bounty, two methods stand above the rest. While traditional dehydration is effective, it is the groundbreaking science of freeze-drying that represents the ultimate form of long-term preservation. This process removes up to 99% of a food's moisture, effectively halting the microbial, enzymatic, and chemical activities that cause spoilage. The result is a food that can remain viable for an extraordinary 25 to 30 years. Our next item is not about calories. It's about clarity, ritual, and morale. A simple cup that can cut through the chaos. Number 12, instant coffee. In the midst of a crisis, survival is not just about calories. It's about morale. Instant coffee is a surprisingly robust staple for any long-term food plan, offering not just a source of energy, but a profound sense of comfort. While manufacturers give it a short best-by date, a measure of peak quality, properly sealed instant coffee, thanks to its low moisture, can remain a viable and morale-boosting resource for decades. And what if a single bowl of mashed potatoes could bring a moment of normalcy in a world of chaos? Number 13. Instant potatoes. In a world of uncertainty, a simple bowl of mashed potatoes can offer profound comfort. Instant potatoes are an invaluable asset for long-term food storage, offering a remarkable shelf life that can span decades. Their durability is a direct result of the dehydration process, which renders them immune to spoilage. Simple potato flakes, when stored in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, can remain a viable food source for 20 years or more. But what if you could store a highly perishable food like eggs for a generation? Number 14. Powdered eggs. Powdered eggs are a truly remarkable asset for any long-term food storage plan, offering not just a convenient source of high-quality protein, but a deep sense of security. Their exceptional shelf life, which can extend for 10 to 25 years or more. The only threat highlighted in research is a process called non-enzymatic browning, which degrades quality and is accelerated by heat. To combat this and ensure maximum freshness, they must be stored in a sealed, airtight container, shielded from warmth. The ability to have a ready supply of this nutritional powerhouse years after a crisis has begun offers a powerful feeling of self-reliance and peace of mind. And finally, the cornerstone of any robust food supply isn't a modern invention. It's the ancient wisdom of the grain, the foundation our civilization was built on. Number 15. Whole grains. The cornerstone of any robust long-term food storage plan isn't modern science. It's the ancient wisdom of the grain. The durability of grains like wheat and corn is scientifically proven. A key study from Brigham Young University found that whole grains stored in sealed containers for over 30 years remained viable for human consumption. This is not just food storage. This is the act of providing nourishment, stability, and peace of mind for future generations. Decay is inevitable for everything else. But you now know the secret. You have the guide. If you found the secret to defying time, you won't want to miss our next deep dive. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because next time we tackle a category you think you know, canned foods. And if you haven't yet, check out our previous video on the screen right now, the 7 essential items every prepper should have. And in a world of uncertainty, the food you have sealed away is the ultimate act of defiance.